On the third day after Hazrat Hamza Razi, Allah Ta'ala, and accepted Islam, Hazrat Umar Razi, Allah Ta'ala, and also became rich with the wealth of Islam. There are many narrations about the incident of Hazrat embracing Islam. One narration is that Hazrat, he set out with a naked sword with the intention that today he will kill the Prophet of Islam with this sword. By chance, he met Hazrat Naim bin Abdullah Qureshi on the way. He had become a Muslim, but Hazrat Umar was unaware of his Islam. Hazrat Naim asked him, "O Umar, where are you going with a naked sword in this afternoon heat?" He said, "Today I have left my home to decide the fate of Bani Islam." He said, "First find out about your home. Your sister Fatima bin Tabab and your brother-in-law Sa'id bin Zaid have also become Muslims after hearing this." He reached his sister's house and knocked on the door. Inside the house, some Muslims were secretly reading the Quran. Hearing the voice of Hazrat Umar, Raz Allah Ta'ala an, everyone got scared and left the verses of the Quran and hid here and there. When his sister got up and opened the door, Hazrat Umar Raz Allah Ta'ala an shouted and said, "O enemy of my life! Have you also become a Muslim?" Then he pounced upon his brother-in-law, Hazrat Said bin Zaid Razi Allah Ta'ala an, and caught his beard and threw him on the ground and sat on his chest and started hitting him. His sister, Hazrat Fatima Razi Allah Ta'ala anha, ran to save her husband, but Hazrat Umar Razi Allah Ta'ala an slapped her so hard that the earrings broke and fell down, and his face was covered in blood. His sister clearly said, "Umar, listen, do whatever you can, but now Islam cannot go out of your heart." Hazrat Umar Are saw his sister's blood-soaked face, and his face became red with anger. Iskamya happened, and my heart softened. They stood silently for a while and then said, "Okay, show me whatever you guys were reading." The sister kept the verse of the Quran in front of her, and when she picked it up, she saw this verse. It became an arrow and pierced deep into the heart. When I reached this verse, Aman Billah wa Rasuli became totally out of control and involuntarily called out that Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasul. It was at that time that Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Archimedes, came inside. People peeped through the crack in the door and saw Hazrat Umar Razi Allah Ta'ala an standing with a naked sword. People got scared and no one had the courage to open the door. But Hazrat Hamza Razi Allah Ta'ala anhu said in a loud voice that open the door and let him in. If he has come with good intentions, he will be forgiven. Otherwise, his head will be chopped off with the same sword. When Hazrat Umar R.A. stepped in, the Prophet, peace be upon him, himself stepped forward and held the arm of Hazrat Umar R.A. and said, "O son of Katma, become a Muslim after all. How long will you keep fighting with me?" Hazrat Umar R.A. also recited the kalma loudly. Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam shouted takbir in joy, and all those present shouted Allah Akbar with such force that the hills of Makkah echoed. And then Hazrat Umar R.R. started saying that, "O Rasul, Allah, what is the point of worshipping God secretly? Get up, let us go to Kaaba and worship God openly. And I swear by God that I have opposed Islam in all the gatherings in which I have been a kufr, disbeliever, and will now be removed from all those gatherings. I will declare my Islam." Then Hazrat Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam, along with his group, left in two rows. Hazrat Hamza Razi Allahu Ta'ala and was walking in front of one row, and Hazrat Umar Razi Allahu was walking in front of the other row. With this pride, they entered Masjid-e-Haram. He entered and offered his namaz, and Hazrat Umar Razi Allah Ta'ala and declared his Islam in front of the mushrikin in the Haram-e-Kaaba. On hearing this, the kufr, infidels, ran from all sides and started hitting Hazrat Umar Razi Allah Ta'ala an, and you Razi Allah Ta'ala an also started fighting with them. A ruckus broke out. Meanwhile, Hazrat Umar Razi Allah Ta'ala an's uncle Abu Jahal arrived and asked what was the commotion. People told him that Hazrat Umar Razi Allah Ta'ala an had become a Muslim, and that is why people were angry and had attacked him. On hearing this, Abu Jahal, standing in Hatim Kaaba, made an announcement by gesturing with his sleeve. He said that I gave shelter to my nephew Umar. On hearing this announcement of Abu Jahal, everyone moved away. Hazrat Umar, Razi Allah Ta'ala, and says that after accepting Islam, I always used to kill the kuffar and kept getting beaten by them till Allah Ta'ala declared Islam to be victorious. One of the reasons for Hazrat Umar Re'a becoming a Muslim is also given that Hazrat Umar R.A. himself used to say that I was present in the state of kufr near the idols of Quraysh. Then a person brought a calf of a cow and gave it to the idols. But I replied. Then someone shouted loudly and said, Ya Jali Amar. Ralfasi Yakla ilaha illallah. Hearing this voice, everyone ran away from there. But I made up my mind that I would never leave from there without investigating the person who gave this voice. I will not move. After that, the same voice came again. Ya Jali Amar Naji Rajal Fasi Yakal La ilaha illallah, meaning it is a thing of success. For those who are openly hostile, a man with a passion is saying La ilaha illallah, although there was no one else around the idols except me. Immediately after that, Hazrat Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced his prophethood. Hazrat Umar Raziallahu Ta'ala an was very impressed by that incident, so that incident definitely had some role in his accepting Islam. Subscribe to my channel so you can catch up on my upcoming videos.